A story about approaching a beautiful girl in Hong Kong several years ago was the year 2016. It's an amazing story because it taught me something, and there is a lesson, and probably you can learn something from hearing this story. I was approaching several women throughout the day for a few days in Hong Kong, practiced a lot. In that period, I was approaching a lot of women. Going around the city in Hong Kong, I stayed in a hotel. I was approaching women everywhere because I was excited. I love Asian women and I love Chinese women. And Hong Kong looked just amazing with all the lights, the neon signs, all the skyscrapers, and for me it was like unbelievable to see all those women, all those girls, and were so easy to talk and approach. I fell in love with Hong Kong because I was approaching women everywhere, every street, millions of people, nobody knew me, also nobody noticing me approaching, and still I was stopping girls and they were talking and I was getting some. 2016, the story of this video I want to tell, approaching a woman in the street. That day or those few days I stayed there, I approached a number of women, the daytime, the evening, the night. It was exciting. I was approaching so many and I was experimenting with a lot of things. And I was already studying and learning rapid escalation from the book by Liam McRam. Was already studying a lot of things about honesty and approach with straightforward, being direct and stuff like this. Also being sexual, always being safe, but being a sexual being, showing interest, intent, sexuality. I was studying and learning all this stuff, and those few days approaching a ton of women in Hong Kong. At some point, I was walking in a nice street during the evening. Again, it was around 8 p.m. A lot of people around, and there was this cute girl with a skirt, mini skirt, like those loose with pants, and she had like long socks. It was typical of Asian long socks, beautiful legs, like typical Chinese legs, not skinny, but like nice muscles, natural muscles. And she could be 20, maybe 21, 22. She was wearing glasses, like big glasses, and I don't remember how she was dressed completely, but she was just gorgeous, sexy, cute. So I started talking, probably saying anything, joking. I don't know. I don't remember. I could never remember. It was 9 years ago. I was talking and talking. Probably I was direct, and probably yes, I was saying, "I want you. Can we do this? Maybe shake hands and blah blah." She was leaning against the wall in between stores and shops, and this kind of crowded area was probably around 8:30 or 9 p.m. I was also sick, by the way. I had kind of a flu. Those few days staying there, I had flu, but I was still going and walking around. So she was leaning against the wall, was waiting. She was on her phone, probably. And so I approached, right? I approached, I talked, and even though I was being direct, maybe I don't know if I wanted to touch or hug or kiss, and then, but I also was not very, very strong direct. I wasn't being very, very straightforward and direct and strong. And now I was also leaning against the wall and interacting with her and looking around. I didn't have many skills on rapid escalating, but I remember now she was starting to move because she had to go, and I was still saying something, trying to. I remember zero things what I say, except this one thing that I'm about to say, which is the key point of this video. Pay attention, it's very important. So she was about to leave and start moving slowly with her phone. She had to meet a friend. I was engaging with her like for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't remember, maybe not, probably around 10 minutes. She was starting to move away. I was leaning against the wall, and now she was going to my right side and going towards the intersection. She had to, I don't know, meet somebody, grab a taxi, I don't know. She told me later that on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, exchange Facebook later, and she told me actually she was gonna meet a guy. Yeah, she had to meet a guy, a date actually. But in that moment, this was on Facebook Messenger, she revealed me later, days later, that she was gonna meet a date. But in that moment, she was probably saying, I don't remember, had to go home or something. And she was starting to walk away from me, but not completely, because I was being, this sexual guy, maybe showing interest. She probably liked, so she was staying, but had to still reject and walk away, not interested in me. But then my ego get triggered, created this concept. When my ego gets triggered, when your ego, when any man egos get triggered, we become angry at women, and there is something that pisses us off. At some point we get mad, and we don't know when this happens. We might say to ourselves for years, oh no, I'm relaxed, I might not react bad, I might be in control of my emotions and my reactions. But then you never know when the ego is triggered. Sexual interest, romantic interest towards a woman, if a woman frustrates us, we might get mad and pissed off. That was one of those moments. As she was walking away, she was wasting my time and not taking me seriously, and me not being very direct, like half playful, was my fault. But then at some point it came out, because I said I have nothing to lose, and I said, because I want to fuck you. Maybe not this angry, but I said I wanted to fuck you. As I was saying, she was starting to walk away. I remember exactly. She was to my right here, okay? She was to my right here, facing towards the intersection over there. I was like this, leaning against the wall. And I said, I wanted to fuck you. She stopped and started to walk backwards and went back, standing next to me. She wanted to leave, and I was trying to keep her there. But I have to go. But then I said, I wanted to fuck you. Don't remember what I said before that. Maybe, hey, listen, the reason because I'm talking to you because I wanted to fuck you. Maybe I said this. All I remember, only this. I wanted to fuck you. That's it. And the funniest part is she was walking away, almost leaving. When I said I want to fuck you, she started to walk backwards next to me. And there, when I applied a few techniques that I knew on how to start grabbing and kissing, and I grabbed her within seconds and making out all like with tongue kissing, this beautiful gorgeous Chinese, my god. And I was making out for like 1 minute, tongue kissing, and she was like, oh my god, you're so awesome, or she said it at the end when I finished kissing, making out with tongue for like a full minute, and then at the end probably she said, you are awesome. And that's when I realized, wow, she was rejecting me. She was not interested. She wanted to walk away and keep the conversation on the friendly bullshit small talk. We start making out. I don't remember how I escalated. Within like 5 seconds probably I start touching and grabbing, and probably I decided to pull as she was melting into me, and I kissed. But I was stupid because I could grab her hand, go into a taxi, pay for the taxi, and go. I had also my hotel card. I could have done this. Taxi in Hong Kong are super cheap, and I could have done. We were almost there. Should we go in the taxi? Maybe I was asking her. Anyway, I lost her. Essentially, I lost her. If it was another guy, it would have escalated quickly, or if it was me now, I would have escalated all the way to the hotel. But I was worried, and probably because I was sick. I wanted to, but I felt, no, I better don't do it. And I was happy actually with that result. That's another thing. So I was happy with that result. So I said, yeah, that's it. And then we exchanged Facebook. As I said earlier, I was stupid back in the days. It was 2016. I was messaging with her on Messenger, and she told me she was going, actually she had to meet a guy and had sex with him, probably a Chinese guy. I said, oh, but this also pissed me off because now she was wasting my time on Messenger, and I was in Italy already. She was in Hong Kong. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't have gone back there. So then I deleted her, which is a mistake, something that I don't do now anymore. I don't care. Rapid escalation. That was an important lesson. What is the main point here is saying to a woman, I want to fuck you, but feeling it. Now, don't go around telling a woman this. Don't go to the next woman next woman you meet and say, I want to fuck you, you might get in trouble. Don't do that. Only when you are safe, she's by herself, she's showing interest, and you already done something. But don't go around telling a woman, I want to fuck you. If you do it at work, in your school, at the gym, you might get kicked out, you might get beat up, you might get into embarrassing situation, awkward situations, or just causing drama, having her female friends yelling at you. Maybe you will get mad or being offended. You might get in trouble. So you have to be careful. Just so you know that you can do it, you can, and you can say it. Now the idiots are gonna comment that, oh, you're gonna get arrested. No, you are gonna get arrested because you are an idiot. Saying I wanted to fuck you is not a crime, it's not against the law. It's not. But for some people it is in their head. In their head it's against the law and you're committing a crime. So you have to be careful because you live in a world where people don't want to think. They switch off their brain. So we live in a society. So you gotta be safe and cautious on how to use this and when at the right moment. And only when you feel it here. You cannot go open your door of your house and say to the next woman, hey, I wanted to fight you, without feeling it here. If you don't like a woman, here is a good way to measure it. If you don't like a woman, you don't have to say that. If you think a woman is pretty, but you don't feel like that, oh fuck, inside you, you don't have to say that. Only when it's like, oh, you can't take it anymore. That's a good lesson, because when I say that, I reeled her back. Literally, physically, she came back. When I say that, and with mad ego triggered, because she wasn't getting it, I was wasting time. Now the ego got triggered, I got pissed off, and bam, I got her. Now I didn't finish because I was not, I wasn't good at escalating, but I could. As I said, I was sick, or I was worried about something else, or maybe I wanted to have a date later, but that was my last night probably there. It's not the kiss. Although yes, making out is an amazing experience with a beautiful girl, and she was so Chinese, so good. She was actually, I think, from Taiwan or mainland China, I don't remember, and staying in Hong Kong. Yeah, that's an important lesson. I don't have much to say. In this video, this story should teach you something. You should get some value. Let me know in the comment and subscribe to this channel. So subscribe to the channel, hit a like, leave a comment. What do you think of this video?